My wedding guests laughed at my $200 dress and called it trash. Until the world-famous designer who created it walked in and dropped this bombshell in front of everyone. Let me back up, because you need to understand how this all went down. My name's Emma, I'm 25, and 3 months ago I was planning what I thought would be the happiest day of my life. My fiancé, Jake, and I had been together for 4 years. We're not rich, okay? We're normal people. I work as a kindergarten teacher. He's a graphic designer. We were paying for our own wedding because we wanted to do it our way. But there was one problem, one massive problem. Jake's Aunt Caroline. This woman, oh my God. Designer clothes, dripping in jewelry, married to some hedge fund guy, and she made sure everyone knew she was better than you. Always had something to say. Always had that pinched, judgy face like she just smelled expired milk. Now, I'd been dress shopping for months. Tried on dresses at fancy boutiques. $3,000, $5,000, even one for $8,000. Beautiful, but we had a budget. We were saving for a house. I wasn't dropping a year's savings on a dress I'd wear once. One night I found Margaret Chen's sample sale dress online. Originally $2,400, now $200. Ivory lace, delicate beading, vintage-inspired perfection. It fit like a dream. Jake literally cried when he saw me in it. I felt beautiful. I felt confident. I felt ready. Then came the rehearsal dinner. The rich aunt had insisted on hosting it at her country club. "Darling, it's the least I can do," she'd said with that fake smile. Should have known it was a trap. The dinner was going fine until she stood up with her champagne glass. "I'd like to propose a toast," she announced, her voice dripping with false sweetness. Everyone quieted down. "To my dear nephew Jake and his lovely bride Emma. Emma, dear, I heard you found your wedding dress online for $200. How resourceful of you." The room went silent. I felt my face go hot. Jake's hand tightened around mine. But the snobby aunt wasn't done. "I just think it's so brave that you're comfortable wearing a bargain bin dress on the most important day of your life. I mean, when I got married, I wore Vera Wang, but to each their own, right?" People were staring at me. Some looked uncomfortable. Some looked pitying. Jake's cousin Sarah was literally smirking into her wine glass. I wanted to disappear. I wanted to cry. But instead, I just sat there frozen while she continued. "I actually brought a little gift for you, Emma." She pulled out a Davidine bridal gift card from her purse. "It's $500. Maybe you can upgrade to something more appropriate. We wouldn't want people thinking Jake married down, would we?" Jake stood up, furious. "Aunt Caroline, that's completely out of line." "Oh, sweetheart, I'm just trying to help. The photos last forever, you know." I grabbed Jake's arm. "It's fine," I whispered, even though it absolutely was not fine. "Let's just get through tonight." But I didn't sleep that night. I cried. I questioned everything. Was my dress really that bad? Was I embarrassing Jake? The next morning, I almost returned the dress. Then my phone rang. "Hello, is this Emma Rodriguez?" "Yes." "This is Margaret Chen. I designed your wedding dress." I nearly dropped my phone. "Oh my God, hi. I love the dress. It's absolutely—" "I know this is unusual, but I need to ask you something. Is your wedding this Saturday at the Riverside Garden venue?" "Yes." "How did you know?" "I'm in town for a fashion showcase, and I saw your wedding was listed in the local events. I recognize my designs anywhere. Emma, that dress you bought? It was my favorite piece from my debut collection 15 years ago. Would you mind terribly if I attended your wedding? I love seeing my creations on their special day." I couldn't breathe. Margaret Chen, this designer I'd admired online, wanted to come to my wedding? Yes, of course. Oh my God, yes. Wonderful. And Emma? Don't let anyone make you feel less than perfect. That dress was designed to make someone feel like a queen. Wear it proudly. I hung up and just sat there. Then I started to smile. Then I started to laugh. I didn't tell Jake. I didn't tell anyone. I just showed up on my wedding day wearing my $200 bargain bin dress with my head held high. The ceremony was beautiful. I walked down that aisle, and Jake looked at me like I was the only person in the world. But then came the reception. Jake's rich aunt was holding court at her table, surrounded by her wealthy friends. I could hear her voice carry across the room. Ordered it online, can you imagine? $200. I offered to help her get something decent, but you know how stubborn young people are these days. That's when the doors opened, and Margaret Chen walked in. She was stunning. Silver hair perfectly styled, wearing an elegant black designer dress, radiating absolute confidence. She walked straight to me, and the entire room turned to watch. Emma! She kissed both my cheeks. Darling, you look exquisite. That dress is even more beautiful than I remembered. I saw the snobby aunt's face go white. Margaret turned to the room. For those who don't know me, I'm Margaret Chen. I'm a fashion designer, and I had the absolute honor of creating Emma's wedding gown 15 years ago. It was part of my debut collection, and seeing it today brings back such wonderful memories. Someone gasped. Wait, the Margaret Chen? From New York Fashion Week? The very same. Turns out Margaret Chen wasn't just some small online designer. She'd become huge in the fashion world. Her dresses were worn by celebrities, featured in Vogue, sold at exclusive boutiques for $15,000 plus. And Jake's aunt, she had no idea. Margaret continued, This particular gown was my favorite design. When I marked it down for that sample sale, I hoped it would find someone who'd appreciate its story. Emma, you wear it beautifully. I watched the rich aunt shrink in her seat. Her friends were all staring at her. Sarah, the smirking cousin, was suddenly very interested in her phone. But Margaret wasn't finished. I actually overheard someone earlier suggesting this was a bargain bin dress. She looked directly at Jake's aunt. I find that fascinating, considering similar pieces from my collection currently retail for around $18,000. Emma got quite the deal, wouldn't you say? The room erupted in whispers. The snobby aunt stood up, her face crimson, and excused herself. She practically ran to the bathroom. I followed her a few minutes later. Honestly, I wanted to see her squirm a little more. I found her reapplying her makeup with shaking hands. Caroline! She spun around. Emma, please don't tell anyone what Margaret said. I'll look like a complete idiot. I'm begging you. I crossed my arms and looked at her. Really looked at her. You humiliated me in front of 80 people at my rehearsal dinner. You called my dress trash. You said Jake was marrying down. And now you're worried about looking like an idiot? Her face crumpled. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. No. You didn't care to know. There's a difference. She sat down on the bathroom bench, and to my shock, tears started rolling down her face. Real ones. You're right. You're absolutely right. Her voice cracked. I've spent my whole life judging people by price tags and status because that's all I have. My marriage is falling apart. My husband barely talks to me anymore. We just keep up appearances. And watching you today, watching how Jake looks at you, how genuinely happy you are in that $200 dress, I realized I've wasted years valuing all the wrong things. I didn't expect that. At all. My $50,000 wardrobe doesn't make me happy, Emma. It just makes me look like I am. And today I humiliated someone who actually has what I've been pretending to have this whole time. I stood there watching this woman who'd tormented me completely fall apart. Part of me wanted to walk away, let her sit with it. But I'm not built like that. Caroline, it's not about the price tag. It never was. It's about finding what makes you feel good, what makes you authentically happy, not what impresses other people. She looked up at me with red, puffy eyes. You're kinder than I deserve. Way kinder, I said with a small smile. But it's my wedding day, so I'm feeling generous. Plus, Jake would want me to be the bigger person. He's lucky to have you. I know, I said. Now fix your makeup and come back out there. And maybe just be real for once. People might actually like you better. We went back to the reception together. She apologized to Jake and to Margaret. She spent the rest of the night quieter, watching instead of performing. But here's the thing that makes this story absolutely perfect. 2 weeks after the wedding, I got a package. Inside was a handwritten note from Margaret and a gift certificate to her atelier, $5,000 worth. For the bride who reminded me why I started designing in the first place. Use this for your anniversary outfit or save it for a special occasion. You deserve beautiful things, Emma. Not because of their price, but because of who you are. Margaret. I absolutely cried again. And the snobby aunt? She reached out a month later asking if I'd have coffee with her. She's in therapy now. She and her husband are actually trying to work things out for real this time. She's different, softer, more human. She even admitted that night was the wake-up call she desperately needed. I still have that Davidine bridal gift card she gave me, by the way. Never used it. Don't need to. Because I wore a $200 dress that made me feel like $1,000,000, married the love of my life, and learned that people who judge you by price tags are usually the ones struggling the most with their own value. So if you've ever been judged for being not good enough, whether it's your clothes, your job, your house, your car, whatever, drop a like on this video right now and smash that subscribe button. Because I'm posting a new karma story every single day for the next 14 days straight, and trust me, tomorrow someone gets exposed even worse than this. Turn on those notifications. You're not going to want to miss what happens next. And that, my friends, is how my $200 bargain bin dress became the most expensive lesson Jake's aunt ever learned, without costing me a single dime. Drop a comment telling me, what's the pettiest thing someone ever judged you for? Let's expose these people together.